بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Inshallah ta'ala, tonight, Friday night, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it a blessed day and a blessed night, one of the best days of the week, a lovely day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really loves. We will have our question and answer, inshallah ta'ala, with the Imam questions coming from you. And of course, the questions are mainly pertaining to fasting because of this blessed month of Ramadan. So inshallah, I will try to, of course, this session is meant to have the short answers, and the questions that I have are those that pertains to the daily activities of people. So the very first question is about the niyyah and the intention. And intention is something that it's a must, it's part of the conditions of the fast, is that we do have the intention to fast as an obligatory fast for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the month of Ramadan. Now, the fact that every day your activities in your mind consciousness is that's what you're doing, right? So you wake up for suhoor, you go to the taraweeh, so you're always mindful of this. So this is sufficient, alhamdulillah. But if you want to be really, really cautious and you want to follow like the opinion that really covers it all, then yes, every night we will take the intention that we will fast the next day, inshallah. And when we wake up in the morning, that's good enough, inshallah ta'ala. Now, next question would be the issues of the preciseness of time of when to stop. And I have like dozens and dozens of questions. That's always about the difference of time between the local masajids, why our masjid is different, and you have the absolute right why the difference, and you have the absolute right to ask. So this is really the issue is that time of Fajr is an estimated time, right? It's not a sunset and it's not a sunrise, so it's a night time. So it is really something to be estimated. Just to give you the short answer, we are working very closely, inshallah, locally to adopt a timetable that would, inshallah ta'ala, be adopted by the local masajid and the triangle area masajid council, inshallah ta'ala. So hopefully, inshallah, next year we will have one time. But again, for now, you just need to follow your local masjid, the masjid that you attend and you pray, and that's the masjid that you follow. If just the earlier time is a little bit more cautious, that's all. When you refrain from eating and drinking a little bit earlier than many others that go extremely late. So it's just a little bit more cautious. But again, inshallah, you can follow your local masjid and you should be more fine, inshallah, should be fine. Now, as we go into refraining from eating and drinking, I'm taking the questions in order, inshallah ta'ala, to walk you through them. And inshallah, throughout the month of Ramadan, if you follow, inshallah, with me the series, you will have a good idea of many of the rulings of fastings. So that's a great opportunity for you to tap into the knowledge that, inshallah ta'ala, should come to you so you can be more aware of how to fast and to pass it on to others. So as we go into, we refrain from eating and drinking. We start the day, we start with the intention. Someone is asking if for people that are ready to start their fast, can I brush my teeth? Brushing is a very popular question. Again, the summarized answer is that the scholars have really looked at the brushing issues and have different opinion about the issue. Some of them about the issue of sugar that you have in the paste, sugarless. What about the the actual taste that you feel. It's really sugary, even if it's sugarless and what have you. So the summarized answer that I would give you is that the scholars, the opinion that I feel more comfortable with is that you only brush in the morning your typical daily brush. That's what you do in the morning throughout the year outside of Ramadan, right? So you brush in the morning when you, if you like, for example, that's what you do. Even if you went back to sleep and then you woke up a little bit later, like at 8, 8:39, and you wanted to brush, so that's your morning brush. That's fine, just one time. That's your morning typical brush. However, you should not brush your teeth all day long. You know, people are using the excuse of brushing so they can brush and get that smell out. You know, they don't feel comfortable with this smell of a fasting person that comes from the empty stomach. You know, that smell comes from an empty stomach, and people keep brushing all day long to get rid of this smell. That we should not do. We should really avoid that, because this is very risky and it might risk your fast and end up invalidating your fast. Okay, so be careful and just use the typical brush that you do in the morning, just one time, and that should do it, inshallah. And that would apply to all the questions. I have a very important meeting and what have you, and I just need to brush and what, you know, that's the rulings on. This is your fast. This is a pillar of Islam. You don't want to risk it because of a meeting here and a meeting there. So inshallah ta'ala, be very cautious and try your best to be alert of what we do. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy on you while you're at work or with your meetings and what have you. Now, inshallah, as we dive in more into it, you know, many questions comes. Can I take a shower? The answer is yes, but you just need to be very careful that you don't swallow any of the water. Can I take a bath? Yes, but make sure you don't swallow any of the water. Can I jump into a swimming pool and what have you? The answer is yes, but you need to be very careful while you swim that you do not get water to go through, to go down your throat, whether through your mouth or your nose. Any of that would invalidate your fast, because this is intentional, right? You're going into the water. Yes, you're not intending to swallow, but you know very well that this is very risky. So this is not like unintentional acts or somebody that didn't know and somebody splashed them with water and it ended up going down the throat. All while you're making the wudu, you got it, you sniffed it in a little bit, you know, deeper, and it got in and you can't get it out. So, you know, it got swallowed. That's different. That's unintentional. But someone that intentionally jumps into a swimming pool, intentionally goes into splashing water, whatever, that is very risky. However, it does not invalidate your fast unless it comes down your throat and your mouth, whether it's mouth or nose. This is would invalidate. So if you want to go and you have to swim, you have swimming classes, or you need to train others and what have you, it's fine as long as you're guarding your mouth and nose from not getting water down your throat. Okay, we move on, inshallah ta'ala. Is it okay to sleep during the day? The answer is yes, it is absolutely okay to sleep and to get some rest. That's no problem. How about if I sleep a lot of hours? Um, Again, it would not invalidate your fast. However, it just would reduce the time of worship that you have to connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It just kills that time. So the daytime is meant for worship, for fasting, and it's not really meant for good deeds. It's not really meant for sleep. But you know, a power nap, a sleep that gets you stronger at night and what have you, that's all absolutely no problem, inshallah ta'ala. So as we inshallah move on and what have you, for the sisters, while cooking, it's okay. Is it okay to taste the food? Of course, tasting the food, the, you know, our sisters, they ask with a specific questions of what they mean by taste the food, and they mean that they just want to get a tip of it to see if it's salty or not. You know, I feel very cautious to the fiqhi answer is yes. The fiqhi answer is yes, But the fuqaha and the scholars, they give the answer of yes, assuming that the questioner and the person asking the question knows what tastes definition means. Is that it's just uh, uh, in a way that you are just testing the food whether it's salty or not, but in no way to really have a major amount of food in your mouth to taste it, but rather a tip of it and what have you. And you need to make sure that you don't swallow the whatever food remaining in your mouth. But yes, the answer is yes. The scholars allowed that um, for those who end up having to cook, and you have a lot of chef Muslims around the world that they need to and what have you, but it's they know how to do it. They know it in a way that they taste without having to swallow any of the remaining food and what have you. So then we, inshallah ta'ala, move on to have the as we are fasting and reading and doing. Some people, many of the questions, especially in if I end up for a reason or another, if I lie, if I hide things, if I am not really as truthful, if I am what have you, is that would that invalidate my fast? The answer: it does not invalidate your fast, but it absolutely compromises the status of your fast, of the reward that you're seeking. Because how would a Muslim who is submitting to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to fast one of the pillars of Islam, Ramadan, one of the months that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed as a pillar of Islam to fast, and then we come to lie during our fast, or to cheat on an exam, or to take something that doesn't belong to us, and or to take the rights of others, or to scream or yell or cuss someone out, or have road rage and profanity, and all these questions that all pertains to the same thing. Would that invalidate my fast? The answer: it does not invalidate your fast, but it does absolutely compromise the status of your fast, because the whole point of fasting is to discipline yourself, to transform yourself to a higher level of righteousness. So you can fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more and love Him more, connect with Him more, so you become naturally inclined to be more righteous. So that's the whole purpose of fasting. So it does not align with that to have these kind of characters and manners. And inshallah ta'ala, the we're gonna go bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, the issue of prayer while we are fasting. People are saying, while I am fasting, do we still make wudu and have water in our mouth? The answer is yes. Yes. Do we, some people, about the brushing thing, they say, well, Prophet Muhammad allowed us to do the miswak is brushing before the wudu, and that's throughout the day. And again, I just want you to know that even the scholars argued and debated about the miswak throughout the day. Just believe it or not, it's a wooden stick. It doesn't have any flavor. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't change any of your mouth smell. It doesn't do any of that. And still, they debated whether you're allowed or not to do miswak throughout the day or not. But miswak is not like a brush where you have a. Now, if someone wants to compare, miswak with a toothbrush, then we're talking about a plain toothbrush, right? It's just a plain toothbrush while you're making the wudu, and you just do with, but no toothpaste, if that's the right comparison. But anyway, yes, you can make wudu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed us with water. For the prayers, you can do your prayers, inshallah ta'ala, as usual at a certain time. We have only specific situation. People are asking, I'm having a board exam that lasts for like 5 hours. I have a surgery, I have patients, I have some type of procedure, I have very, very sensitive type of schedule where I am in security and I have to monitor things. I can't get out. Yes, I even have my lunch while I'm, monitoring the things. We have so many brothers and sisters are working at so different, various, different type of works, of work jobs and what have you. So Islam is, subhanallah, very flexible and a deen that really accommodates the needs of people. Only at a certain time where people have all that restrictions and time restraint, and they get into something that they can't get out of it except after 4 hours and what have you. This is the only time where they can combine the prayer, together, Dhuhr and Asr, for example, together, without shortening. No shortening for a residence. Remember, you're not a traveler, but you're able to combine the prayers. You bring them together at the time of Dhuhr, for example, early time, or you push it to the later time and what have you, when you finish your commitment and obligation. Remember, this answer only pertains to those who have special circumstances and needs. So it only applies to them, and it's not a general rule that can be applied to others. So, inshallah ta'ala, to wrap up today's session, we will, inshallah, just touch base on the next session, that we will go into the traveler rulings. So a person that is going to travel and wants to know the rulings of the traveler. So we're just going to start our this session by answering only one question, and then we will build on it, inshallah, next Friday. And the question is, I really have a lot of travels during the month of Ramadan, and it's a quick in and out. So is it okay to oh, before I answer, I'm sorry. There is one question that came actually about the issue of flavor. Someone's asking about the mouth guard, and it has a mint test. The mouth guard with a mint test, it could be very similar to the ruling of toothpaste, remember, because that mint taste is like a toothpaste. It releases that, chemicals that seems with the minty taste, that it is sugary and what have you. So you definitely want to get a mouth guard that is, tasteless, does not have these tastes, does not release any type of chemicals and what have you, inshallah. So that would apply like similar to the toothpaste analogy. Okay, so the question is, I have a lot of travels in and out, and I really don't want to break my fast. I don't want to break my fast because I know that I'm going to have to make up those days later on after Ramadan, and I want to fast with my people. I want to fast with my family. I want to fast with my friends. I don't want to make it up later on because I get really tired by myself. So do I have to break the fast? The answer is absolutely not. You do not have to break your fast during Ramadan because you are going to go on travel. You do not. It's a concession, it's an allowance, it's a rukhsa that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave his servants in case they need it. But you do not have to break your fast unless you choose to. So inshallah ta'ala, that's what will, inshallah, answer your questions, and we will build on it next Friday, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Barakallahu fikum. We have the two series. This is just for your information, a daily series from Monday to Thursday that would also cover rulings of the fast at 12 o'clock if you need to tune in, and also reflections, some reflections from the Quran on Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. of course. So inshallah ta'ala, that's before iftar. We will connect together and reflect on some lessons of the Quran. Jazakumullahu khairan. So we'll see you all during the weekly series on Monday. And for those who connect for the question and answer, we'll see you next Friday. Jazakumullahu khair. Wa barakallahu fikum. May Allah accept your siyam and your salah and your qiyam, inshallah ta'ala. Allahumma ameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. مع السلامة إن شاء الله تعالى.